So we're gonna start with these foam sheets. You're gonna put them in a few spots to make the scooter not get scratched when you put it in the cage. So you take one sheet per fender and you just put it kind of inside underneath the deck, and then you wrap it around on the back end of the fender like that. Do the same thing for the front. Just wrap it underneath the fender, same with this side. And then take half a sheet and you put this on the deck, and you would put the box or any other supplies you have on that deck, and then you would take saran wrap and just wrap it underneath a few times to secure it to the deck. We need to take a Phillips head screwdriver. I have this on the impact right now, make it easier. There's 2 Phillips screws right next to the headlight. Just loosen those. There's a little loop around the headlight. You kind of just push down on it and it should come out. Same with the other one. You take this headlight and put it against the wiring harness. Same thing, just pull the loop up. And then you put the screws back in the spot where you pulled them out from. Pretty simple so far. You want to take your other half of your foam sheet, wrap it around the headlight, kind of up against the handlebar there, and then you saran wrap this together. Doesn't have to be nice or anything, just enough to protect the headlight. Once you're done with that, you can remove the handlebars, and then that's when you would put the scooter into the cage. Have a 5mm Allen on here. We're just gonna take the 4 bolts out of the gooseneck here to let the handlebars drop down. And once you do that, it should just come down, and you can hang it down on the deck. The wiring harness gives you some leeway there. Now, the next step is to remove the 2 top bolts on this cage here. So you're gonna use a 12mm socket along with a 12mm wrench. You can do it on either side, you just gotta loosen it up. Comes down, and then you're gonna pull the bar down to the ground. You're gonna do that with the other one. And then you're gonna put that one down to the ground as well. And now I'm gonna have my fantastic volunteer, Chris, come help me put the scooter in the cage. I highly recommend you use 2 people on this one. We have issues of scratching the front fender here on this front bar or here. So you're going to lower your kickstand on the scooter by pushing it forward and holding your foot where the kickstand is. Once that is done, I'll put the front wheel in kind of sideways. As you can tell, this is very angled. And I'm gonna put the wheel and fender in between these 2 bars so it gives Chris enough slack to put the other end in. And I kind of just hold it here while he's doing that. And it'll all kind of fall into place. And it'll look something like this. And now you just gotta take your hands on the forks and press forward. And once you do that, you will kind of slide it into the middle of the bar. And now your scooter is technically secured. We just got to do some last minute adjustments and this thing will be ready to ship. We're going to put a bracket on the gooseneck so that way it secures it down. This will be given to you in your box. You take your 4 bolts that go with the gooseneck and just tighten them in there. I would recommend doing this diagonal from each other just so that way you do not cross thread any bolts. I want to make sure it's nice and tight. Now we're going to grab pool noodles. We're going to use 2 of them, 1 on each bar. This will protect the handlebars from scraping. And you're going to take 2 smaller zip ties, take one in, put it against the other so you get a bigger zip tie. And then you're going to take the handlebars, put them up. Use 1 zip tie, you just put it around the whole handlebar. You connect it against the pool noodle. and tighten it. Then we're going to take 2 bigger zip ties. These are going to go on the axle of the scooter to protect the back end. All right, so you put both ends through this little bracket, and that'll put it on the axle. Put it through this hole right here, and just zip tie that tight. And then you will take your 2 12mm bolts. You'll bring the cage bars up to the holes that they are supposed to go to. Sometimes it's a little tricky and you have to lean on the cage or something to get it in. Same thing with the other side. Tighten them down real quick. And now, the scooter is ready to go on the pallet. You were given a double pallet so it'll fit 1 scooter on each end. And if you're not doing this with someone, this is how you would do it. You would just lean one end up against the pallet and then lift from the other way. And once you get to this point, you put the other scooter on, and then you put boxes on. So you take your HD box, open it up a little bit. You can do this with 1 person. It's a lot easier with 2. You just put it over the box, or the cage, sorry. Kind of make it fit. Slide it on there. Once you have the scooters on the pallets, you are now going to ratchet strap it to the pallet. You're going to take 1 and just put it underneath all the way. 3 ratchet straps and hook them together like this. It'll be pretty tight already, and then you're just going to tighten it. Make it nice and tight where it doesn't move too much on the pallet. You're going to do that to the other scooter, and then once you do that, you're going to throw your golf carriers on top. You're going to take a golf carrier and put it on top, and then you're going to do the same thing with the other golf carrier. Take another ratchet strap and ratchet it through this side of the pallet so it's overlapping like this. And you want to ratchet strap 2 of these, 1 to the other golf carrier, and if you feel like it's not secure enough, you can take another one and strap it across the whole thing. And that is how you pack a PHAT scooter.